The question of gaining weight on a carnivore diet comes up frequently. It's something that a lot of people are afraid of. It might prevent them from even starting, or you may initially lose weight, but after a while you start gaining weight again. It can happen for a number of reasons, and no matter how experienced you are, it can happen to the best of us. It certainly has happened to me on and off over the last 6 years. If you are gaining weight on a carnivore diet, it is likely happening for one of 3 major reasons, and that's what I'm going to break down for you in this video today. If you are gaining weight on a carnivore diet, if you're afraid of gaining weight on a carnivore diet, or if you're just not losing weight, this video is for you. Before we break down those reasons, I want to let you know that this video is sponsored by LMNT. A proper electrolyte balance can be really beneficial in keeping you hydrated and helping you not retain water and assisting with your weight loss. I use LMNT electrolytes because it has no caffeine, no fillers, no sweetener in the unflavored version. It's just sodium, potassium, and magnesium, and it's the perfect ratio I need in this little convenient packet to help keep me hydrated. They also have flavored versions which are sweetened with stevia from everything from chocolate to citrus and grapefruit. If you want to get a free sample pack, check out which flavor you like best. You can go to drinkelement.com/LauraESPATH. They have a deal for all my subscribers where you can get a free sample pack with your purchase to try all their flavors. They have a 100% money back guarantee. Thanks to LMNT for sponsoring this video. When you first start a carnivore diet, the expectation to lose a lot of weight very fast is high. You see before and after pictures online, stories like myself, where I started a carnivore diet and lost weight very quickly at first. Part of that is because I was coming from such a terrible diet, fast food, gas station food, casseroles, a lot of ice cream, and I went to a keto and carnivore diet and I lost weight very quickly. But there are people in other circumstances who are restricting. They've come from a history of yo-yo dieting. They're undernourished, and so they might see a little bump up in their weight at first when they start a carnivore diet as their body absorbs all of those nutrients and establishes a new baseline before they start losing weight again. After that initial bump up before you lose weight, there are 3 major factors that could be contributing to you gaining weight or not losing weight. The first factor I want to talk about is consistency, and that might look different. It could be consistency in the sense that you're eating very strict all throughout the week, but on the weekends you get a little more loose, you have some drinks or alcohol or carbs in a restaurant, and you let it slip and you go off track over the weekend. But then you get back on track again during the week. This is not one of those diets that works well when you're 90% in, because your body is eating high fat and it's burning fat for fuel. So every time you go off track and you have a bunch of carbs or sugar or even alcohol, your body has to then take time to process all of those things out and then go back to burning fat. So having that cheat once a week or on the weekends might not seem like a big deal in the sense of your week. However, it is really slowing down your weight loss or even causing you to gain weight because your body is going back and forth between fat burning mode and carb burning mode. And that can take several days to flip that switch back and forth. Another piece of that consistency could just look like you eating meat and fruit. The meat and fruit crew on the internet is a very popular group of people, but they tend to be very active, fit, metabolically healthy, and they're burning off that fruit that they're eating very quickly because of their high metabolism and their extreme energy level. So they eat a bunch of fruit, they may do some crazy exercise, burn that off, and then their body is burning off that fat. So if you can moderate fruit, I have no problems with you eating fruit, especially if you have a great metabolism, you are really active, there probably is no major setbacks and you wouldn't see any weight gain from incorporating some fruit. But if you have insulin resistance, a high blood sugar, or a lot of weight to lose, eating meat plus fruit is going to be a very quick way to gaining weight, or it's at least going to prevent you from losing weight. The next reason that I want to talk about is really 2 sides to the same coin, and that's overeating and undereating. You would think that overeating would be a lot more common, but surprisingly, it's pretty difficult just to eat and eat and eat and eat way too much meat all day long. It's not impossible, but it's not usually the main reason as to why you're gaining weight. I think overeating usually comes in the form of too much dairy, too many processed meats. You're snacking all day long. You're not getting these big substantial meals, but you're having cheese and pepperonis and too much heavy cream all throughout the day. And that tends to end up being too many calories, just not enough fasting, and too many processed meats in general. The other more common issue is undereating. Now, that's one of the good things about a carnivore diet, is that the food is so satisfying that you're usually not in this ravenously hungry state all the time. And so you are able to eat less, which could contribute to weight loss. But the problem is, when you are in a calorie deficit for a long period of time, your metabolism and your hormones are going to down-regulate in order to match the amount of calories that you are giving your body. When this happens, you're lowering that basal metabolic rate, and weight loss is going to come to a screeching halt, and you may even start gaining weight because your body is in this starvation mode. And over time, you might all of a sudden find your cravings are increasing because you're really undernourishing your body, and your body is really searching for something. So you'll notice that people start having cravings after a while of undereating, which then can go back to the consistency problem. And next thing you know, you're hungry and you're gaining weight. While tracking every day isn't necessary and calories aren't the best measurement tool, it is kind of the only one we've got. And so it is important for you to check in occasionally and just make sure you're not eating 800, 1,000, 1,200 calories. Use a calculator. I can link one down below, and just something that's going to help you to, based on your activity level, keep your calories up high enough so that your body is nourished, your hormones are functioning properly, you're maintaining muscle mass, which is then going to lead to you losing weight more quickly. And the third reason why you might not be losing weight or why you're gaining weight on a carnivore diet has nothing to do with the diet. I really disagree with, sometimes we get to this carnivore harder mentality where, like, if you're not losing weight, it's because you added some seasoning, or you used a sugar-free sauce, or you're not eating organic, or you're not eating grass-fed, or you're not eating these pasture-raised eggs. Those are not making a difference overall. They might have a minute difference, or depending on how sick you are, but they're not the reason why you are gaining weight or you're not losing weight. Okay, let's look at the factors that are outside of diet. Let's talk about things like your hormones. Have you done a deep dive with your doctor, getting some blood work done to look at all of your hormone levels? There are so many times that things show up on our blood work that are within normal range, but really signify some red flags or some yellow flags or things that need to be addressed that are just not right with your hormones or your thyroid. It's important for you to dig into those results yourself and not just take a normal check mark on your blood work from a doctor at face value. Really understand, what are these levels saying and how are they making you feel? There also might be an underlying condition like a chronic inflammatory response syndrome, where your body is not able to remove toxins and it's keeping you sick and keeping you inflamed. There could be another root cause issue that's going on there. There also are huge factors like sleep and stress and exercise, whether you're over-exercising or under-exercising or not getting great sleep, and just stress in general. I have been through seasons in the last 6 years where I'm doing everything right with the diet, but my corporate job or my outside factors are just adding so much stress. My sleep is suffering, my hormones are suffering, and the next thing you know, I am just doing the same thing, but I'm gaining weight and I can't figure out why. You have to take a step back and say, what is my sleep like? Are there stressful things that are happening in my life that I need to work on? Am I prioritizing things like rest and mindfulness enough to make a difference in removing those factors? And lastly, carnivore is not going to fix your relationship with food. There are a lot of us who have improvement in cravings, and we feel a lot better eating a carnivore diet, which really helps us in terms of our relationship with food. But it's not a magic pill. You still have to get to the root issue of, why am I snacking? Why am I binging? Why am I reaching for other things? Why am I eating emotionally? This is a huge part of, like, I've gone through seasons of weight gain with carnivore, and it has nothing to do with the diet, and is just about my relationship with food. And I really had to analyze, how am I comforting myself and how am I using food for my emotions? That may have nothing to do with the diet at all, but you're gonna have to address that relationship with food before you can find what a stable, long-term healthy weight is for you. There are so many benefits to a carnivore diet because the meat is so nutritious and healing for our bodies, and it really does block out a lot of the food noise that we experience, and it can be an amazing weight loss tool. But it's not a magic pill. There's so many other factors that are going to go into finding a proper healthy weight for you, and it's important to take a look at the big picture. And most of all, be patient. We didn't end up overweight or in this negative place with our health overnight, and we are not looking for this temporary fix to just rapidly change everything. We want a long-term healthy lifestyle, and we got to be patient for that. But if you need some support, if you need some guidance, if you just want to be around people who understand what it is that you're struggling with and talk it out, you can come find my community on Locals. We are there. We chat every day as a group just to be able to talk through everything that it is we're going through and work some of these things out together. Hope this was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe.